Hello lads, today we're going to be doing a tutorial on this 3x3 piston door that I have not uploaded, but it's actually a very old door and I'm running out of content, so I actually have to start doing good redstone in order to get content now, which is kind of a problem because I can't because I'm washed as heck. I thought this man was going to demonstrate the door for me, but this is a very cool 3x3 door. This is 0.65 seconds instead of 0.6, which is why it's smaller. It's only 81 blocks. The animation's pretty good, at least on the opening. The closing is not quite as good because the input is on top and there's no way to avoid that. So anyways, let's just jump right into this. So I'll make the layout first. So you're going to need a 9 by 9 by 1 area. This is going to, the bottom piston of the door, you have to dig down like 2 blocks. This is going to be your floor level here. Normal 3x3 frame side pistons here. I'm placing these very well. Your storage piston is going to be on the left here, and I'm going to have a double extender on top, like so. And then add 1 piston here, because that is needed for an update later. This is going to be your input block right here, lever on this, and this is going to do the top closing, and then we're going to have 2 sticky pistons facing outward from the input block like this, and they're going to have redstone blocks on them. I mean, you usually see something like this in like a 1.05 5x5 where people want to alleviate the input bug, and this is exactly what I'm accomplishing here. It does add time on the closing, but it is instant on the opening and also gets rid of input bug, which is needed because we need this extender here to be 0.65 seconds, which means we need this to turn off and on as fast as possible at the beginning, and if we get that, this is going to be an even game tick, which means this is basically a free timing, and then we can just use a really easy pulse here to get 0.65 seconds. The bottom is free because it's even game tick again. And so the only hard part is we need this piston right here to turn on instantly on the opening, and then also off at 3 game ticks, which can be achieved through a timing, but it's easier through a bud, which is what we're going to set up here. What's going to happen is we're going to right here, dust here, 1 tick repeater on this block, and a dust here. And what this is going to do is, if we power it, we can see that nothing will happen on the opening or on the closing, but this right here is going to be powering this block, which buds this one. And this right here, this redstone block will attract instantly when you open the door, and this block will attract, which actually updates this instantly. And then this piston right here will extend. This dust will turn off after 2 game ticks, and then after 3 game ticks, this piston will be fully extended, and then we'll realize it's not being powered anymore and retract itself as fast as it can. Then everything else goes on. Okay, so now for keeping this piston on longer, I'm going to have a lamp right here and an observer facing this way, dust on both of these. Those blocks are going to be important later, but mainly what we need is a 3 tick repeater going in here, and that's going to keep this on for as long as it needs to, and then retract this. And then to get the last pulse, we just have this out from the lamp because the lamp turns off later. And that's the entire double extender. And this is in this block, so it doesn't update this piston. Okay, perfect. And now to do the sides, it's actually pretty simple. We have everything pretty much set up for us here. And this part right here actually doubles as spitting this block back after updating everything. And then for this side, we can just put this like that, block here, and then power the top one. We can just bud it from this block. So you can see now, these are perfectly in sync, and also this block will spit back to make it seamless. And there will be no gap here in the door frame at all because this piston will teleport its block to be right here the instant that these will start retracting. So there's no visible gap in the door frame here. Now just for the bottom, we're going to use this entire quarter of the door just to get 1 pulse. Right here, I'm going to need a note block for this one because there's no other instant updater that takes up only 1 block. And that's going to spit this block here, and this pulse right here will actually get blocked on the opening by this piston extending. Then all that's left to do is this storage and the final pulse here, and the final pulse on the opening will have to take place 3 ticks after these side pistons. And also you can make it faster on the closing using this cool thing here. Let me just grab this very convenient block to use. So sticky piston with block on its face, that can be any block. And then this right here will power this, and that's 1 tick after this happens. And this has enough tile tick priority to make sure that this doesn't get blocked at all. And then 2 ticks afterwards on the closing, we can spit this block again, because this will arrive fast enough for this to update and then spit again. And so that's going to be the entire closing done, and the opening. But how this works on the opening, actually, this right here, this block serves as a toggle. So what happens is, on the closing, this whole arrangement takes only 2 ticks to start working, but on the opening, this block actually has to start retracting before this observer updates, which means it takes 1 extra tick. So this is actually a 3-tick delay and not 2. And also, this right here doesn't matter. This will double pulse when this pulls back, but this has more tile tick priority than observer into observer, since it's piston into observer. And so this one will power first. So you can see that happening in practice, like so. Okay, that is a lot of explanation for a 3x3, but I hope it was somewhat entertaining for me to over-explain this very simple door.